Think about your favorite romantic comedy heroine. That moment when she finally realizes she's been manipulated. She picks herself up and she transforms into her best self. Usually this comes after hours of crying into ice cream, a dramatic makeover, and maybe a trip abroad. But what if I told you that she and you could spot these manipulation tactics way earlier and protect your peace before the heartbreak? Today we're diving into 5 principles that would have saved our favorite rom-com leading ladies from heartbreak, and more importantly, how you can use them in your life. Okay, let's talk about Elle Woods, a woman who had a 4.0 GPA and a 179 on her LSAT, yet ignored every red flag Warner threw at her. We all remember their brutal breakup scene.
If I'm gonna be a senator by the time I'm 30, I need to stop dicking around.
Warner, I completely agree.
Well, that's why I think it's time for us.
Yes.
I think we should break up.
Okay, now stop, rewind. Let's break down what Warner is actually saying beneath his polished delivery.
And I need to be serious.
Of course.
Which means, I don't see you as my equal.
I mean, my family expects a lot from me.
Which translates to, I don't think you're good enough for my family. And finally,
if I'm gonna be a senator by the time I'm 30,
which essentially means my status and my career matter way more than our relationship and your feelings.
Elle? I'm sorry, are you here to see me?
I go here.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
Here's what's fascinating. Elle initially does what many of us do. She hears, I need someone serious, and thinks, oh, I'll prove I'm serious. My family has expectations, and she thinks, I'll exceed them. Or, I need a Jackie, not a Marilyn. And she thinks, I can be both. If only Elle had done her morning Bible study with her sorority sisters, she wouldn't have fallen for that trap. Proverbs gives us a warning about smooth words. Smooth words may hide a wicked heart, just as pretty glaze covers a clay pot. People may cover their hatred with pleasant words, but they're deceiving you. They pretend to be kind, but don't believe them. Their hearts are full of many evils. While their hatred may be concealed by trickery, their wrongdoing will be exposed in public. Thankfully, Elle does eventually come around to that biblical wisdom, and just in time for her big courtroom appearance. Elle has finally learned to listen to the actual message, not the package it comes in.
Your father was shot while you were in the shower, but you didn't hear the shot because you were in the shower?
Yes.
Well, you got in the shower?
I believe the witness has made it clear that she was in the shower.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Wyndham, had you ever gotten a perm before?
Yes.
How many would you say?
2 a year since I was 12.
Isn't it the first cardinal rule of perm maintenance that you're forbidden to wet your hair for at least 24 hours after getting a perm, at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thioglycolate?
She's not just listening to Chutney's emotional delivery, she's listening to the literal facts being stated. And that's what cracks the case.
Mrs. Wyndham, you're free to go.
The lesson, your peace of mind depends on hearing what people are actually saying, not getting caught up in how nicely or how emotionally they're saying it, because sometimes the smoothest talk is hiding the roughest truth. Loving others well implies that we also love and care for ourselves. I mean, if you've ever been on a plane, you've heard the flight attendant say, in case of emergency, put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. Well, Jane from 27 Dresses clearly missed the safety demonstration. Let's watch.
Let me give you some advice. Do not drink them away on an empty stomach. I'll tell you, it's like, whoa, it'll fall right off.
This isn't just about being a perpetual bridesmaid. It's about a pattern of depleting yourself to fill others' needs. Watch how Jane's people-pleasing manifests.
Did you put that breakfast burrito on my desk?
I just thought you might be hungry.
That's why I love you.
She keeps a detailed calendar of everyone else's special days. She remembers everyone's favorite flowers and colors. She stores 27 dresses in her tiny apartment. She covers for her boss at work while also planning his personal life. But here's what's fascinating. Notice how everyone responds to Jane's boundaryless behavior. Every yes just leads to a bigger ask. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. Jane has become a doormat.
We're getting married in 3 weeks. 3 weeks?
This is where Jane's lack of boundaries crashes head on with what she really wants. She spent so long being the helpful one that when she actually needs to advocate for herself, she doesn't have the tools or the oxygen to do it. Kevin's character brilliantly calls this out.
I think you deserve
to be taken care of for a change.
Thankfully, Jane has a breakthrough moment. Before we get to that, I want to thank our incredible sponsor, Body Surf. You guys, Body Surf is such an amazing beach lifestyle brand founded by Christians who created incredible quality products. My personal fave is their Marine Layer Hydrating Facial Oil. Check them out at shopbodysurf.com if you want to look great, feel good, and support an amazing Christian company. Okay, let's get back to Jane and her breakthrough moment.
No.
Notice how the world doesn't end when Jane says no? In fact, this is the first time people actually see her, really see her, instead of just seeing what she can do for them. Here's what's powerful about the oxygen mask metaphor. It's not selfish to put yours on first. It's necessary. As Christians, sometimes we feel like we have to give and give and give until we have nothing left. Mark 12:31 tells us to love our neighbor as ourselves, which implies that we love ourselves, that we are good to ourselves, that we are patient and kind to ourselves, and that's how we can adequately love others. Because a Jane without an oxygen mask can't actually help anyone. She can't be a good sister, friend, or partner when she's running on empty. Jane's relationships actually improve when she starts protecting her own peace. Her sister begins to respect her. Her boss sees her as a person, not an assistant. And she finally has the energy to pursue her own love story. The lesson: loving yourself is a good thing, even if it means saying no. Boundaries aren't walls. They're your oxygen mask. They don't just protect you, they make you capable of showing up authentically for the people you care about. Okay, who among us hasn't been a Bridget Jones at least once? Clutching our phone, waiting for that text while we replay his promises in our head. Let's watch, though, how this plays out for Bridget.
You're the only one who can save me, Bridge. I need you.
Beautiful words, right? But let's break down what Daniel actually does. Flirts with other women in the office, disappears without communication for days, only makes plans last minute, and keeps their relationship a secret.
I gotta go back to town. Meetings come up.
The thing about Daniel Cleaver is he's got fantastic words. He's an editor. Words are literally his job, but his actions, they're telling a completely different story.
I feel I can change. I absolutely can change, Bridge.
Notice how his promises are always in future tense. I'll change. Things will be different. We will be proper boyfriends and girlfriends. But his actions, they stay firmly in the same pattern. If only Bridge had taken a quick look at her Bible, she might have caught onto his wily ways a bit quicker. 1 John tells us, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. This isn't just instruction. It informs us on what true love actually is. It's shown not just through words, but through deeds. James also emphasizes the importance of being a doer. Be doers of the word and not only hearers, deceiving yourselves. Thankfully, Bridget was able to compare the detestable Daniel Cleaver with Mark Darcy, a man who loved her just as she was and didn't hold her past against her, and he showed it with his actions. The lesson? Words are easy. Actions require investment. When someone shows you who they are through their actions, believe them, even if their words are telling you something different. Because anyone can say, just as you are. But it takes real commitment to actually love someone just as they are. Okay, now this one isn't a rom-com, but it does feature one of the most sophisticated manipulators in teen movie history, Regina George.
You're like really pretty.
Thank you.
So you agree?
What?
You think you're really pretty.
I mean, this is a masterclass in manipulation, and here's why. Regina starts a seeming compliment. She creates a trap. When Katie falls into it, Regina makes her feel foolish, and if Katie calls it out, Regina can say, I was just joking. This is absolutely gaslighting. Here's why. It makes the target question their own reality. It creates confusion about what's actually happened, makes the victim feel like they're too sensitive, and leaves no fingerprints. It's all just jokes. Regina does this repeatedly.
Oh my God. I love your skirt. Where did you get it?
It was my mom's in the 80s.
Vintage. So adorable.
Thanks.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
This is particularly dangerous because it trains people to doubt their instincts. It creates a fear of being too sensitive, and it slowly erodes self-trust. The Bible is very clear about this toxic behavior. Proverbs 26 warns, just as damaging as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and then says, I was only joking. If you find yourself constantly explaining someone's humor or feeling like you're walking on eggshells, that's not comedy. That's control. control. And if you start doubting your instincts, pray for wisdom. James tells us God gives wisdom liberally to those who ask. Remember, a real joke doesn't need the disclaimer, just kidding, and you're not too sensitive for noticing the knife behind the laugh. Okay, now let's get back to the rom-coms. Let's look at Iris from The Holiday. Here's a woman who wrote wedding announcements for a living while pining after a man who kept her on the hook for 3 years.
I came here because I had to see you. Had to.
Look at how masterfully Jasper plays on established patterns. He shows up unexpectedly, creating a sense of urgency, but he mentions his fiance, showing he's unavailable. But then he has the nerve to say he misses Iris, keeping hope alive. What's fascinating is how this mirrors their entire relationship back in London.
May I introduce the newly engaged Sarah Smith Alcott and Jasper Bloom.
Notice the pattern? This isn't just about Jasper. It's about how past behavior predicts future behavior. He's shown Iris exactly who he is. If only Iris had enjoyed some quiet time in her cute little cottage with a cup of tea and her Bible, she might have caught on to this sooner. Proverbs 20:11-12 explains, even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure and whether it's right. Ears to hear, eyes to see. Both are gifts from the Lord. Our eyes and ears are gifts from God, helping us to see people's conduct and then using that to make wise decisions about how they are to fit into our life. Someone who is a cheater or who treats us poorly can have our forgiveness, and we can pray for them and we can bless them, but that does not mean that they have to have a place in our life unless they are truly repentant, which means they have literally, actively turned from their sin and are moving in another direction. But here's where The Holiday gets it right. Oh, don't you guys just love when Iris meets Arthur Abbott?
Iris, in the movies, we have leading ladies, and we have the best friend. You, I can tell, are a leading lady. But for some reason, you're behaving like the best friend.
This is exactly what a healthy friendship looks like. Clear boundaries, genuine support, no mixed signals. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Arthur got it right. You, my dear, are the leading lady of your own life. This isn't just about romance. It's about recognizing your worth and protecting your peace. We've seen how our favorite rom-com leading ladies could have avoided heartbreak. You don't need to wait for a wise old Hollywood screenwriter to tell you that you're a leading lady. God has made it clear. You are fearfully and wonderfully made in his image. You are his daughter. You are his leading lady. And leading ladies protect their peace. When you dwell on God's truth, you shine. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your wisdom in the comments below. Tell us about a time you trusted your gut and protected your peace, or wish you had. Your story might be exactly what another woman needs to hear today. And if you're ready to flourish, hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. We're dwelling on the wisdom of God every week. So dwell on these things for a happier, healthier life.